barbering. Barbering is a great profession to get into because you can make your own hours. You can make as much money as you want to make. In this profession, you can work as long as you want to. You can leave when you want to. Barbering is one of those professions to where when you come in you feel good, and when you leave you feel good. You know, you've how can I say, you cater to a customer. When you cutting somebody's hair and you know their situation by them being a regular customer and coming in and just you just know their day based on you making them feel comfortable, you putting that cape around them, you ask them how they want their haircut. But in between that, starting their haircut and finishing their haircut, you know something about that person to where you can either take with you and you can build on, or that you can grow from, or you can give some advice to them, in a sense of like you're a psychiatrist in a sense. And I've learned that just being a barber for 26, 27 years. Started when I was 15 on Harvest Lane, where I grew up in Ypsilanti, and my uncle used to barber, and by him coming to the neighborhood, he used to cut my hair, so I would call him up all the time, and he got tired of me calling him up, and he handed me a pair of clippers. He said, cut your own hair, it's simple. And from there, at the age of 15, it took off from friends to family. And next thing, I started charging my friends. They was a little irritated, but it came with the territory, because I started getting so many customers. After that, it evolved into me going to school. I suggested to my mom that I wanted to go to barber school, but at the time I was probably between 19 and 20, and she knew that the car that I had could not make it to Detroit, because that was the only barber school that was open at the time. So she recommended that I go to cosmetology school. Since I already knew how to cut hair, she said, why don't you do both trades, learn both trades. So at that point it sounded like a good idea. She said she'd pay half, so I couldn't beat that deal. So did 2.5 years in Alexandria Beauty College. It was in Belleville, so that was right up the street from Ipsy. At the time I was working at Print Copy Center, which I was a press operator, but once I got my license, which it took me 2.5 years to get my license, put my 2 weeks in. Once my license came, put my 2 weeks in, and I was a full-fledged barber at that point. And that was in 92. So 92 I got my license, and 94 I got my first barber shop. From 94 to 96, I had my first barbershop. From my first barbershop, moved into the second barbershop. Ran both of them. Shut the first one down. Actually, I sold the first one. Sold the first one to a friend of mine, and had the second one. And I was a proprietor of the second one too, until I got my third barbershop, which I bought in '02. So from 96 to from 96 to '02, I was a proprietor. Then '02, bought my first own barbershop, and I've been here ever since. Good location, which is very important. I think that no matter what type of business you have, you got to have a good location, and it's a good location because it's on the corner of a main street. It's right across the street from a franchise restaurant, fast food restaurant, which is Taco Bell. So everybody knows Taco Bell. I mentioned Taco Bell, they know exactly where the barbershop is. The future I see for this shop, of my barbershop, is I want to see good people come work at the barbershop. And what I mean by good people, I can have a good person that come in that wants to work, but they're not ready to become a barber. And a barber to me is somebody who is really ready to come in, and learn a craft. If you're just a beginner, you want to learn a craft of barbering. And what I mean by that is that you take something that you have and you grow from it. You watch another person who's been in the profession a long time, and you learn from them, and you take from them, and you manifest something within yourself to make that grow. And that's where your customers come in, and that's where, and I haven't mentioned money yet, because when you love what you do, the money will come. But if you get in this profession to make a lot of money, it will burn you out. It would burn you out so fast. But when you start loving what you do, in the sense of barbering and learning your craft, learning learning how your customers think, knowing what your customers want before they even sit in a chair, to where they just sit in your chair and you already know what they want. That's when you know you are a good barber. And money is, sky's the limit when it comes to money. Because when I started, and when it was kind of fearful when I first started, because I didn't know how much money I was going to make. But when I got started into barbering, it just blew up, in the sense of, I had customers coming from out of the woodworks, trying to get their haircuts, and the money was there. My wife, she runs the business aspect of it, and I run the shop aspect of it, and you gotta have that significant other, if you're not going to do it yourself, to help run that business aspect of it, so you can help, so that helps the business grow. You determine your own salary, how much you want to make or how much you don't want to make, based on what you charge, the hours you're gonna do your job, run the shop in. You wear what you want to wear. It's just an all around good a good career, a good field to be in. And when you start in this, when you start doing barbering, or start doing hair in that field, you want to get in either barbering or cosmetology. It takes you many places. Me, I'm a stationary person. I like being in my shop, and just having people come in, and got some pretty high profile clients, and that's good. I like them too. I go to a couple of their houses and cut their hair, and some professional athletes, I go to they don't want to come to the shop, I go to them. They pay me well to come to their house, and cut their hair, and the kids love me, and it feels good to go out there and do that, knowing that they can trust me in their house, and cut their hair and cut their kids' hair, and they pay me well, and it's that part is great within itself. The educational process of this is, for cosmetology, for full time, you go for full time, it's 1 year. For part time, it's 2 years. But you base that on how quick you want to get in and out of school. School was great. I was the only guy there, but I learned a lot. Just being around a lot of females, in the sense of just my teacher, my instructor. She was cool. She taught me a lot about cosmetology. She taught me a lot about cutting hair, cutting Caucasian hair. She put the scissors in my hand, and she showed me what to do, and you got to be multicultural. Yeah, I recommend that wholeheartedly. Is that just don't stick to one culture, you stick to many cultures. That's how you grow in this profession. That's how you grow as a barber. You don't want to stay stationary and just doing one type of hair, because that might burn you out. But if you get multicultural people, customers coming into your shop, it makes you grow, makes you want to grow, makes you want to learn and be the best you can be in that profession, in barbering. Because barbering is just not one culture. It's multicultural, and the more you learn, the more you can grow. And that, like I say, once you do that and you start loving what you do, the money will come within itself. Because now you can raise your prices because your craft will show. Your craft will show on your customers. You have self-advertising. You know, you don't have to put any flyers out there because your work is shown. I wake up thinking about it and I go to bed waiting to come back in. And it's I can't say anything more about, you know, just this profession. So if you decide you want to get into this profession and you need somebody to turn to, you know, just come to the Fuller Cut 307 e-course and we'll get you started, or you need some information and we'll get you right on the right path. My name is Alexander Fuller. We're here at 307 e-course, Ypsilanti, Michigan. 734-484-2860. My website, thefullercut.com.